I like to make the argument with respect to welfare. I hate the argument in this country because it always delves into race. And the fact of the matter is it's about a group of people who get wedded to free stuff. So Northern Italy wants us to secede from Italy. In Belgium, you know what? The ones who speak the ones in Belgium, the ones who speak French are the users. Even in Germany, Bavaria is saying, guys, we're doing too much work. In Spain, Barcelona, they want their own country. They're saying we're doing all the work. These other guys are sucking up all the welfare. So that's your point.
And those you can't make it. I want to come here.
Right, and you can't make that point in America because it always turns into some sort of racial argument, some kind of racial, dumb, crazy racial thing, and we can never get to the point that when people get hooked on free stuff, it's hard to unhook them.
And I will particularly support your point. I've written about this. England, with their welfare culture, no, they've turned Anglo-Saxons into welfare recipients thugs.
Oh, my God. England might be the worst.
Right. It's provably, it is not. It doesn't have to do with race. It doesn't have to do with genes. England just proved it by a welfare state.
It's so ironic that you're here. I don't know if you staged this or not, but we've got a demonstration in front of the building with, I guess, Middle Eastern people. With you always talk about the hot jobs and everything like that. Obviously, they haven't assimilated the way you would like them to. Is there something wrong with that?
Don't clog up our streets. That's part of our culture. The streets are for driving. Sidewalks are for walking. Yes, here are some of our fine Egyptian immigrants.
All right, so let me ask you about the election. Okay, there's this feeling in this election that we've seen the rise of incivility. Black Lives Matter, they bum rush into stage, they're taking microphones. Donald Trump's language has offended a lot of people. You're pretty cool with this, though. I mean, you kind of like say, you know what, it's no big deal. Here, yesterday I saw Father Jonathan tweeted you. Did you ever get back to Father Jonathan on that tweet?
No, I was out yesterday.
He said, how can you defend Donald Trump in this way? His words and actions are anything but good for America. What would your reply be to something like that?
Father Jonathan should stick to moral advice. Let Ann handle the country. And in particular,
I guess he's saying there's a moral element to handling the country.
Well, no, I think there is too. But like all complaints about Donald Trump, I don't know what that means. They keep saying Donald Trump is calling people names. I keep reading articles. What's your objection to Trump? And it's like, he's an oaf, he's a clown, he's a buffoon. What are you people doing? What does that even mean? What is he complaining about? Yeah, he uses spicy language. So do I. That's what you do in political debate. So did Winston Churchill.
So you're okay with it?
I love it.
And
I loved him. I got to tell you, I love that he has been declared dead in the water. His campaign is finished. He refuses to apologize, keeps drawing back. And I really do think that's attributable to immigration. And the point I would make to prove that is if it's just the straight talk, if it's just being politically incorrect, then Christie would be at the top of the polls. But Christie's bad on immigration, and that's when I dumped him.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Christie, though, is also known for his salty language.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
If that's all it were, he'd be Donald Trump. But no, he sold us out on immigration. He had his temporary Senate appointee vote for Rubio's amnesty bill. And then Christie pushed through in-state tuition for illegals.
So the ideal president gets into the White House. How does he or her fix the immigrant problem? And why do you say it's the new N-word? I mean, is it just because... what is it about immigrants?
Because people keep slipping in illegal. We're talking about both here.
For a lot of people don't even say illegal anymore. A lot of people say undocumented. What the hell is that? If you break into my house and you start watching TV and eating my food, you ain't an undocumented visitor. You're there illegally. You better get the hell out before I get in the house.
No, that's right. Undocumented is one.
Yeah, what the hell does undocumented mean? I guess that's sort of like the old WAP without papers. Undocumented? Are you serious?
That's right. George Bush's undocumented war in Iraq. No, I know, it's insane.
But why immigrant? Why are we intimidated about immigrants?
Part of it is because people are thinking about their grandparents who arrived at Ellis Island, and I keep telling them we're not talking about that. That's not who's been coming since 1970. Obviously, at least 20% of post-1970 immigrants are fine people we'd like to have here because 20% are voting Republican. But that 80%, big problem. And so that's part of it. And I guess because they're people, and I suppose it's a nice instinct for Americans to not want to say anything mean and, yes, I love Lupe the Maid. But I would just say to people who are worried about insulting Lupe the Maid, Lupe the Maid immigrated to America, not to Honduras, not to Pakistan, and we are destroying the country she immigrated to if we don't cut this immigration off, both legal and illegal.
Ann Coulter, love you. We got to go. I got to say adios to you, but I hope everyone picks up the book.